Earth Day Earth Lover shirt on, if you can see it. Hi everyone, it looks like we're live here as well. Okay, awesome. So hey everyone, my name is Sarah Mueller and I am going to talk to you about what you allow into your brain and how that can affect the output that you give or that you get in your life. So really, I'm talking about the power of associations. So if you've been following me or any other personal growth, personal development guru for a while, you know that you are essentially the average of the 5 to 10 people that you spend the most time with. And I'm going to take this training today a step further and talk about what else influences your associations so that you can set yourself up for most success and the most joy and happiness of your life. But again, my name is Sarah Mueller and I am a success coach. I help ambitious women to create balance and confidence and courage so that they can live out their passion and raise thriving children. And I do that through my Radiant Greatness membership that I'm going to talk with you a little bit about after this training and my other coaching programs. So if you've been following me on social media the last couple of weeks, I've been doing these trainings to promote the Radiant Greatness membership that is live, and the doors actually close on Sunday. But let's move into the training here because this is some really good stuff for you. So as I mentioned, you are, and you probably know this if you've been following me, but you are the average of the 5 to 10 people that you spend the most time with. And when I'm talking average everything. So your average parenting, your average marriage, your waistline, your income, your overall happiness and positivity about life is the average of the 5 to 10 people that you spend the most time with. And just to confirm this for you a little bit deeper, I want to share some shocking statistics for you that supports this. So if you have a friend that gets divorced, you are 47% more likely to get divorced yourself than if you have a friend that does not get divorced. If you have a friend that becomes obese, the likelihood that you will follow suit goes up 71%. So these are just two little facts and two bits of research that quantify this idea of associations and the power of who you spend your time with. So like I said, for this training, I want to go deeper than just the people that you spend your time with. And I want you to think about the other inputs that are impacting how you're showing up in your life. So let's look at these 3 areas. The first one is what you read. The next one is what you watch. And the third is what you listen to. So let me share some examples here. What do you read? Well, if you read celebrity gossip, for example, you will have a higher tolerance for heated drama and exaggerated untruths in your own life. The second area, you become what you watch on TV. So I experienced this myself back before I had children. I was, when my husband was working nights and I was looking to fill my time, I was really into watching CSI Miami. I don't know why, but I was very addicted to that show and binge watching it for a while. And one night I was out walking my dogs and a car like slowed down as they were driving by me. And I thought they were planning to murder me. I got extremely scared. I ran my dogs back to our house. I locked all our doors and our windows and I stood there watching to see what this car full of murderers was going to do and how they were going to come and get me. As I took a couple breaths and calmed down, I saw this car circle again, and I saw that it was just a car of some teenagers up to a bit of Friday night mischief. But because CSI Miami was the show that I was watching all the time, my brain immediately made me think that these people were out to murder me. Okay, you see how that happens? Also, what we listen to. So what kind of music do you listen to? What kind of podcast do you listen to? What kind of books do you listen to? Are you listening to the news? So I made a decision to stop consuming any news back in 2020. I wasn't a big news reader or listener or watcher anyways, but in 2020, I just decided that it had to end and I had to put my head down and focus on what I could control and how I can contribute to the world. And so it was funny, I had emailed my accountant a couple weeks ago, just asking for an update on our taxes because I knew that the April tax deadline was approaching. And she wrote me back and she said, well, I'm sure that you are aware that the tax deadline was moved back until May. And I wrote her back and I said, well, I'm embarrassed to say that I wasn't aware of that deadline switch because I don't consume the news, but it didn't impact me. And she kind of laughed because she agreed. She's like, I don't watch the news either. I only watch the tax information that I need to know for my clients. And so that's what I'm asking you to do. All right. There's nothing that I can do understanding what's happening politically in our world. There's no way that I can impact the economy. There's no way that I can impact our earth, especially on Earth Day, besides how I treat our earth and what I choose to do. Okay. So I choose to focus on how I can contribute. I put my head down, I focus on my work, I focus on showing up the best that I can be for my children, my husband, my friends, my family. That's where I go. Okay, so I kind of got off on a little tangent here, but I want to share another example with you. When Mike and I were heading up to Key Largo, or down or over to Key Largo this last weekend to celebrate our anniversary together on a trip, we listened to a book by Trevor Moawad, who is named the sports world's best brain trainer. So him and I have lots in common in what we teach and the way we think. And this Trevor Moawad decided to do an experiment similar to the Supersize Me experiment. If you remember the guy many years ago who decided just to eat McDonald's for a whole month, or maybe it was longer, just to see how that would impact his body and the rest of his health. Well, Trevor Moawad decided to do a sort of experiment for a month to see how the information that he took in would impact him. So remember, this is a person that has a lot of, similar trainings like I do in psychology and mindset and using the brain to support versus hurt us, mindfulness. So he was already starting off in a pretty good place. But here's what he decided to do. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about his story, but you can read his book to learn more about it. But he decided to watch the news every morning and every evening across all channels and all political affiliations. So it wasn't like he picked one or the other. He decided to listen to death metal music and also depressing country music while he was making dinner or working out. He watched movies at night. There were war movies or sad drama movies and more. I'll let him tell you the story when you read his book. But he didn't change any other aspect of his life beyond the information that was coming in to his head. And he didn't even make it the full 30 days, to the point where he was already extremely anxious, had anxiety, depression, and was telling his friends that I can't go on any longer. I can't do this anymore. So he was an example of the power of what you allow into your brain. So let's just kind of think about this right now. Let's just do a little cleanup exercise so you can take inventory and you can make the change. So I want you to think about this right now. What can you read that will uplift you rather than bring you down? So you can read business books, money mindset books, books on emotional intelligence and leadership, books on successful people who have been there and can inspire you. Whatever interests you that uplifts you. What can you watch? So I'm not saying never to watch Netflix or that kind of things. But if you're watching Netflix, can you choose something that is uplifting that's going to make you feel good after you watch it? And sure, a good crime drama every once in a while might make you feel good, as long as it's not the only thing that's going into your head all day and all night long. I also know that I'm a human being, and as humans, our brain moves us towards laziness and comfortableness. We don't like things that scare us and take us out of change or take us into change. So it's easy for me just to sit all night long and watch Netflix until midnight and then be too tired to get up and do what I want to do to have the day that I want the next day. So I put all these little things in place that keep me accountable to myself. So I have a timer that goes off at nighttime reminding me to go to bed, just in case that Netflix drama is so good that I want to watch another one and not go to bed. And then, like I said, I encourage you to really stop watching the news. You don't need to be that informed. Of course, if you're a financial analyst, you'll watch the financial news. If you are a marine biologist, you will watch news on on the earth as that relates to us, right? Like we all have our particular reason that we were put on this earth. And if you focus on that area versus every single area that the news covers, then we can all focus on the areas that are going to contribute to this earth that we're celebrating today to make this world a better place. Remember that news gets its money by your attention. And the two emotions that drive attention are fear and anger. And so the news is just meant to create fear and anger. So if you want to dose that into your veins every morning and every night, go for it. But I really want more for you than that. And so I ask you to consider taking down your news consumption. Also, what do you listen to? I know there are a lot of great podcasts out there, but I prefer to listen to books because I know the time and the energy and the expertise that goes into getting a book written and published. And so I know that that is people's best work. I am for value and quality. And so I want the final product. I want the best of the best. I listen to books instead of podcasts. That might change for me one day, but that's where I gain the best value of what I listen to. I, of course, listen to uplifting music from time to time when I want to, but I'm really, really conscious of what's coming in my brain. And so the final question for you then is, what group of people do you spend time with that uplifts you? And so if you don't immediately have an answer to that question, I invite you to join our Radiant Greatness membership. There is already an amazing group of women that have come together and committed to being more, to growing more, to standing in their radiant greatness. I wrote a blog post today about the fact that it's Earth Day and we're honoring all the creatures of the earth, but we as human beings are the only creatures, the only species here on Earth that doesn't stand in our full greatness and reach for our full radiance. Trees grow as tall as they can grow. Bees make as much honey as they can make. Squirrels gather as many acorns that they can gather. And often it's human beings that just accept the way it is and go through the motions of the day, doing a job they don't really love, so that they can buy things they don't really need, but that our consumerist society tells them will make them feel better. And so they can go on vacation once or twice a year to escape the life that they created, yet they don't love. So these are not the type of women that are in radiant greatness. We are up to more. We want to stand in that greatness that was given to us by our Creator. And I want you to join us and be there with us. It's meant to make your personal and professional growth simple. Once a month, training from me, accountability so that you're moving your goals forward. Because as you know, in order to achieve big miracles, what seem like big miracles, we need to just start taking baby steps consistently. And so Radiant Greatness is your simple training once a month with coaching and accountability for that itty bitty consistency that will move you forward to being your greatest self, to standing in your full radiance. You're going to look back on the next year and be like, whoa, I can't believe all this happened. How amazing. I'm so proud of my work. Radiant Greatness membership is only $19 a month. There's no long-term commitment. Try it out 1 month. If you don't love it, no worries, walk away. It's about the price of 2 trips to Starbucks. I know that you can invest in better places for your association and for your brain. And I would be honored to have you as one of our founding members. If you have any questions and you're watching this live, I'll check in. Otherwise, drop them below if you're watching the replay. And I look so forward to seeing you on the inside of our Radiant Greatness membership. All right, doesn't look like we have any questions, so I'm going to sign out. Happy Earth Day, everyone. Bye-bye.